Last year, a Venezuelan man was deported from the U.S. to the notorious CECOT prison in El Salvador. Now he is suing the U.S. government for more than $1 million in damages. The 28-year-old is first known as an ex-prisoner to file such a lawsuit. In an exclusive interview, CBS News immigration correspondent Camilo Montoya-Galvez spoke to him about his experience at CECOT. But first, we want to warn you some of the details in this report may be disturbing.
Se vivió un infierno total.
Total hell. That's how 28-year-old Nayevit Adrian Leon Rengel described his time in CECOT, the infamous mega prison in El Salvador. How were you treated by the guards in that prison?
No, horrible. Era un trato demasiado mal. Los golpeaban. La misma agua de bañar no era la misma agua que usamos para tomar.
You had to drink the same water you used to clean yourselves.
Es correcto.
Alongside several hundred men deported from the U.S., Leon Rengel was held in CECOT for months until a prisoner swap led to their release in July. A Human Rights Watch report found that the detainees suffered psychological and physical abuse, including cases of sexual assault. What was the breaking point during your time in that prison?
Bueno, en realidad todos los días. Llegó un momento donde pensé hasta llegarme a ahorcar con la misma sabanita que nos daban para arroparnos porque...
The situation became so difficult that you contemplated ending your life?
Sí, es correcto.
The Trump administration ended up deporting more than 200 Venezuelan migrants to El Salvador last year. It deported some of them with little to no due process under the 1798 wartime law known as the Alien Enemies Act, accusing them of being gang members and violent, dangerous criminals. But a 60 Minutes and CBS News investigation found many did not have any criminal record. After traversing the Darien jungle in several countries, Leon Rengel entered the U.S. legally under a Biden administration program known as CBP-1. He was arrested once in the U.S., pleading guilty to a misdemeanor for possession of drug paraphernalia. But he had no deportation order or other criminal history when he was deported, and denies being a gang member. Or they accused you of being a TDA member, a gang member.
Correcto.
What was the evidence to support that?
Más que todo se enfocaron en mi tatuaje de la mano izquierda. Tengo un felino con una máquina de cortar cabello en la boca. Y ellos dicen que eso es una señalización que es parte de la pandilla.
Are you a gang member?
No, nunca he sido un pandillero, ni he pertenecido a ninguna banda delictiva, no he pertenecido a nunca nada de eso.
On Tuesday, Leon Rengel became the first known former CECOT prisoner to sue the U.S. government in federal court, demanding compensation for what his lawyers say was false imprisonment and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The amount he's seeking, $1.3 million. Do you think what happened in CECOT to you and your fellow Venezuelan detainees was a human rights abuse?
Estoy completamente seguro de que sí fue algo en contra de los derechos humanos, porque principalmente nosotros no teníamos que ser enviados a un tercer país, y si en caso vamos como Estados Unidos es un país donde las leyes se cumplen, ellos tenían que hacer todo el proceso legal.
Now back in Venezuela, Leon Rengel says his main hope is to clear his name. In a statement to CBS News, the Department of Homeland Security maintained that Leon Rengel is a member of the Tren de Aragua gang, but the agency declined to share any evidence to support its claim, saying doing so would undermine national security. Jerica?
So we understand Mr. Rengel wants to clear his name, but
right.
When you talk to lawyers about this, what legal recourse does someone like him really have, and do they think he's going to be successful?
It's a critical question, Jerica. A federal judge in Washington, D.C. recently actually ordered the Trump administration to facilitate the return of the Venezuelan men deported under the Alien Enemies Act. That's 1798 wartime law that the administration invoked to deport some of the Venezuelans to CECOT, that Salvadorian prison. And the judge says that the administration has to do that to give the men the due process that he found they were denied here on American soil. The problem now for people like Nayevit Adrian Leon Rengel is that the administration has appealed. The Justice Department is challenging that lawsuit, so it is currently on pause.
Okay. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much for that reporting.